So should we get on to our last topic before we call it a night?
Yeah, before they throttle us again, before YouTube throttles us again.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So yeah, there it's been one of the few things that I actually might agree with Bernie Sanders, and that's student loan forgiveness. I think uh, I don't know if it was recent. Was it recently, or he's been saying this for a while. But they're like,
Yeah,
I think it's like I think
yeah,
it's he's making it one of the central things he's talking about for his campaign.
I don't know if it's a central point, but like, yeah, he's been talking about it for a while.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest, I'm biased because yes, I do have student loan. I still have student loan debt, and yes, it's oppressively crushing my soul. But I'm still able to make payments, so and I'm still here. But it does limit your ability to own a home or start a family, and and the predatory practice of just indoctrinating kids to making them think like, oh, you have to go to college to be a millionaire, or you have to go to college or you're not going to have a good life, is morally detestable.
Yeah, I would. Well, because yeah, there's no other options. At least when you're at school are provided. Nothing. There's no which is kind of it's criminal because there's so many great options out there. Like, and not that long ago, it was kind of the amount of people that actually went to college was fairly rare, and college was a hell of a lot more affordable as well. Um, Kind of the reason why, like I said, it is an issue. Yeah, I'll admit. Yeah, like what colleges have done, what the education system has done is really awful. The reason I disagree with the idea of just wiping out the loans is because it doesn't. We need to find a way for there to be to punish these college on a financial level, because if we just keep going down the same road, we keep forgiving debts, we keep doing all that stuff, the colleges have no incentive to change, and they can just charge whatever they want and do whatever they want. And the reality is, we either a couple of things. We need to stop, telling 17, 18-year-olds that you have to go to college right away, because a lot of them are going and they have no idea why they're going. We need to kind of put a puncture in these, as far as like the public universities, the breaking the teachers unions that kind of are essentially, and all these, creating this what's the word I'm looking for? This den of this den of deans of inclusion and assistant deputy deans and all this stuff. It's like, why are we paying? Yeah, why are we paying these people 6-figure salaries to do what? To create these kangaroo courts and kind of just teach us about lesbian dance theory.
Or underwater basket
It's
weaving.
ridiculous.
Don't forget underwater basket weaving.
Oh, of course.
Crucial. That's crucial.
Now, I'm not saying that, because there's a lot of like things that you study in college that aren't necessarily necessary for you, like, history and English and all those things. Like, it is. I'm not saying get rid of all that stuff entirely. That it should only be like career oriented. I think there is a good. because me, I like all those things. I think those should be taught. Um, but we need to do something that that punishes these universities financially. That if they don't make changes, that they're gone.
Mm.
Because I think what
Well, I think one of the
because
big things is
because
getting the government out of education, and because that's one of the big things, because the government guarantees that they'll help you with the loans, and so the schools are then can go unchecked and say, like, that they go to the school and say, oh, how much is it? It's like, oh, well, it's $3,000. Like, oh, well, here's 100. It's like, here's $1,500. It's like, oh, did I say 3,000? I meant 5,000. It's like, oh, okay, well, here's 2,500. It's like, oh, did I say 5,000? I meant 800. 8,000. You know, it's like, oh, and it just keeps
right.
going on, and that's where where you get your bloated bureaucracies, because because the government is guaranteeing the loan, then there's no check on the school from upping its tuition. I remember when I was in a small art college, and every year I was there, the tuition increased by like 1 to 2%. And I was there for 3 years.
Eesh.
And what was that?
No, yeah, I was a yeesh. That sucks.
Yeah, 1 to 2% every year, and and it ultimately went into funding, like, kind of like this kind of vanity beautification thing, where they, like, built this. They built out the campus, basically. They added like a new section because I think they want to consolidate. Because my school, they had a fashion branch, but it was off, like, in downtown. But I think they want to consolidate everybody, so they built a new fashion complex, on the school, a new cafeteria, and also dorms. So that's where a large I'm sure a large part of my tuition went towards, something that, like, I would not have benefited from, because I was there for 3 years, and then and they didn't, like, finish.
Uh, oh,
They didn't finish, like, construction until, like a few months after I had graduated.
right, and I think the other thing is the bigger the campus and everything, they get more funding from the government, so
Yeah,
that's why they end up.
yeah, and it's hilarious because I get the annual newsletter from my school, like, saying, "Oh, help donate to this, education fund or whatever, to give underadvantaged students a chance to come to the school or whatever." It's like, bitch, I still have to pay off, like, $60,000 dollars, on that I have left on my student loans. And, like, you asking me for more money when I gave you money that I didn't even have in the first place.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like I said, I don't have a solution per se on this. I
Mhm.
just know that I think the the student just outright paying off, the government paying off these loans, because there are people who haven't gone to college that are now having to pay other people's college off. Like that's to me that's criminal.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as much as, again, I'm biased because I still have student loans, and as much as I would love for my student debt to be forgiven, I do realize that it would be on the backs of people who are making money, and that's not fair.
Yeah,
So,
and well, and that's
on this issue, I'm very torn. I'm very torn because
no,
I
I
because
understand that.
yeah, and I think, because no secret here, but you and I both enjoy Owen Benjamin, and recently he actually went on kind of like he had a podcast, and he was talking about student loan forgiveness,
I
and
did watch that.
he
Yeah.
does make a compelling argument, although I do, but again, at what cost? It's like, then we're putting that debt onto taxpayers.
Right. and that's I think this is probably the one of the few times I probably disagreed with him. I like I said, I see what he's saying, and I agree that it does in some way. It is kind of creating somewhat of a indentured servitude kind of thing,
Mhm.
but why my thing is that why should me who I because I have zero college debts or anything like that, or people uh, that have found a way to pay off their own, like they paid for their college themselves, or have never gone to college. Why should we have to cover people who wanted to take that? Why should we pay for their debts too? It's
Right.
like and like it's because the thing is like it's free tuition or it's paying off debts, and it's like which is that money comes from somewhere, and this kind of Robin Hood mentality. um and I don't know, I don't think that that's right. The and I think and as I said earlier, I think that by just paying off the student loan debts, it doesn't give these colleges an incentive to change and get and to because there's the argument of like is there anything that's salvageable from from college education, and there's some people's like no, we need to tear the whole damn thing down and start over. And then there's other people that think it's like, yeah, that there is some sort of way to save education, but just for giving loans outright I don't think is the solution to that.
Right. I mean, I mean, a while back, like you said, with abortion, having the abortion, takes the guy off the hook.
Right.
And similarly with this debt forgiveness, if you forgive the debt, then you're just letting the schools off the hook, and then they just keep going on, they just keep charging, and overcharging like crazy.
Yeah, and that's
So
why
yeah,
I
it
I
has to
was
hurt them. And so one of the solutions I propose, I think everyone can agree is just getting government out of it, or at the very least pass a law where the government cannot charge interest on student loans.
yeah I would I mean that'd be a start.
Yeah, because I mean, like how I mean, because how evil is it that you are applying an interest on someone who's who thinks that they're doing the right thing, that who thinks that are someone who thinks that they're preparing for the future, but you're just strapping a stone to their neck, for the foreseeable future. I mean, that's all it is. And so, like, if you take the incentive of and of making money off of this, then I think that'd be one of the steps to, uh, if not fixing the problem, at least plugging the hole.
Yeah, uh, and unlike how the left wants to treat this is it's a complicated issue.
Right. It's not. Yeah. It's not
it's
a
not like we
one
change.
one thing. Fixing one thing is not going to fix everything.
Right, but like I said, there's a lot that needs to be fixed. Because there's a lot of cogs to this machine.
Right.
And it's unfortunate how people have been able to pay. They were able to work, pay for their college on their own, and be good to go. And now it's like you have kids that are starting out life with what $200,000 in debt right
Yeah.
away
Just like
at
like
18.
crippling amounts of debt.
So so clearly something has become very very corrupt in a very short amount of time.
Mhm. But yeah, I mean this. I mean it's been said for a long time, but the student loan debt, that's the next bubble to burst.
Yeah, that's going to be when that finally does break. Whoo boy. that's gonna be a very very ugly
Yeah, that's
thing.
like that's almost an extinction level event.